Hi, everybody. This is Gary Dean with Sentiment Timing, and this is our technical video report for Tuesday, June 3rd, 2025. So the Bulls put in a pretty good day today. If you read the morning notes, I had said that I was focusing on IWM because it's been really lagging all the indexes, and I've seen this before, and they play catch up, and when they try to play catch up, they don't even look back; they go straight up. So that's what I kind of was talking about in the room, and we were waiting for the back test. It came, and before I can even put anything out, it was back up at the highs again. So I was literally waiting for another pullback, and it ended up going up almost. I think at one point it was up 1.8%. It blew away all the other indexes for the day, and it's one of the ones that I do like right now, especially if we're going to see the S&P try to scrape out a 5 at higher highs, which I believe they're going to. We're right here. We closed right at the previous highs. But anyway, if we go up, if we move up from here, what I'd be really looking at is the next resistance is going to be the 6105, and then if they get above that, then we're looking at the 6551, which was the all-time highs. So what I showed you was the IWM, where IWM, as far as where the all-time highs are, is like down here. So it's not even close, and that's one of the reasons why I believe it will start to outperform, especially if this takes a couple weeks to get up here, so we chop around a little bit and get up. But this is the one thing that I'm concerned about is, if they come up and make this wave 5 right here, we're going to have some serious sell signals on the daily charts. And it's like I said, we've made a pretty massive move with not much of a pullback, and now we're going into this with bearish divergences in place. And some of the software that I'm following is looking for a top to come within the next 3 weeks. So we're already a few days into it, so it could happen anytime. And again, I'm not saying to get bearish on this market right now or start shorting. I'm just saying to become more defensive. Like I said, we caught a big part of this move from the lows to these highs right here, and I have no problem if we go up here just waiting it out, because I'm pretty sure once this happens, let's just say it gets up to let's say it touches the all-time highs on it. We're still looking at a pullback that's bringing us down somewhere into these levels here, either the 50 or the 62% retracement, and all that will be is a wave 2 before we start the wave 3 up to make it to another set of new all-time highs. So I'm just anticipating the big pullback. That's what I'm doing, and I'm being a little conservative. So today we did stick with IWM. I kind of mistraded it pretty good today because I took a straddle position going in overnight. It opened up, where the actual position was down some because the puts were underwater, but the calls were not up as much. So when it pulled back, I was able to get out of the puts. But then when we started going forward, I got off. Hang on one second. Let me pull it up. Okay, so this was the, where we gapped up here, and when we came down, I was able to get out of the put position with just a minor loss on it. And when we started going up, I was looking at this resistance and saying, all right, you know what, I'm gonna lock in profits. We made $500 on it. I did not expect it to go straight up to the 209, so I took a $500 gain and closed that position when it could have been close to a 4,000. So it was my mistake on that. I didn't realize it was going to come up here, but we still had basically a winning day. But with IWM, this is the pattern that I was looking at. It's this inverted head and shoulders, and if you look at the morning notes, I show you even a bigger one, which you can see it on the 60-minute chart, where it's actually, it's coming down, and we're looking at it from, this is the smaller one that I was just showing. Actually, this one is pretty big. Yeah, actually, this is another one that's pretty big on it. There's so many of these right now that it's one of those things that if this plays out like this, where here's your the left shoulder, here's your right shoulder, here's the head, and it came down, we're looking at a move that's actually looking anywhere near the 248, I think it is said on it. But what I'm these are the highs up here, so I don't think that's going to play out that quick. Let me show you the dip. Okay, so this is the bigger one on IWM, and the reason why I'm showing it is just because the the S&P is already at the all the rally highs on it. So this is a massive inverted head and shoulders. It's at the bottoms. If this is going to play out, really the distance on it is going to be from here to here. And now what we do is we copy this, or we just move it actually and put it here, and this is your upside target. That's if this plays out. They don't always play out, but it's something to watch because if it does try to play catch up, because honestly, this is where the S&P is right now. They're already up here, so seeing them play catch up, and maybe even if they get up to the 230, something like that, it's still a fairly big move that we're talking about from where we are right now. So if the S&P is going to take some time to get that make that final wave 5, I really could see the IWM trading somewhere up here, and we've had that before where I think it was right around this top rate. I'm trying to figure out when it happened because it was pretty late in the year, and we just had this move that went. This may be at 197 all the way up to 222. So this took a matter of like a week for it to come up here. And even this one right here, it went from 201 up to 227 in 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 days. So if you're going to sit there and use that kind of thing and say 25 points, that's going to put us back up near in these areas here. So I wouldn't, I wouldn't bet against this right now, just because, like I said, we've seen it play catch up before, and when it does, it doesn't let anybody out that short it. So let's get back to the S&P. Hang on one. Okay, so again, now if we're going to be scraping out this wave 5, and let's say we're just going to stay within this this wedge right here, we could see them coming up and testing these all-time highs at the 6150 area to complete it. But as I said, we're going to get sell signals on it, so I would be very careful jumping on that bandwagon right now. On a 5-minute chart on the SPY, we still have this wick, but that may not get filled until we complete that wave 5. But I do believe we will come down here and close this gap. Hourly chart, same, just really it's a zoomed in version of the wave structure, and I can't even say that we have bearish divergences yet, because this can continue up and this could just be taken out and then we have to form another one. But we're pretty overextended on that, and really if the bulls can blast above the 59.70 or wherever it is right here and stay above it, then you just assume that we're coming up to these levels here. 15-minute chart, we do have, not really, we don't even have too many bearish divergences on this because the high was made right here. So if we get an ABC pullback, really what I would be looking at is a let's just see, we'll do a measure of it right now and say, all right, if we're doing an A, B, C, not really too much further below the lows. We're looking at a move down to the 59.50, so about 20 points lower. But then that would be our 1, 2, this is 3. There's a B, C, 4. And then 5 is when we take out the highs and we head up to this level here. And that would be your wave 5 of 5. And that's really the way I track Elliott Wave. I don't really do all the little mini moves and this is your ABC 1, 1, 2, 3, 1. It's too confusing for me, so I just focus on when we're coming towards a topping period or a bottom period that I think the reversal is going to have, and I look for that wave 5 of 5, and that's the way this would play out. Would be a move down to the 59.50, and then we come up and make our move up to the 6100. 6,000, 6,100, 6,154. We'll have to wait and see on that. But that's really the way I see it playing out with that. So on the downside, the target would be anywhere from the 59.50. We have this support right here at the 59.40. So it's going to be pretty tough for the bears to push through this the first time, because I do believe there will be some buyers waiting at that area. So let's just see what plays out tomorrow. I'm going to be traveling to New Jersey. My flight is at 9:40, so I'm not even going to be near my computer. So no morning notes tomorrow. I should be back at my desk around 1 o'clock or so. I'll log in and then head right into the trade room and go from there. So with that, have a great night, and I'll talk to you guys when I'm in New Jersey.